Do you know that there are certain items that you could get or that might already be in your house that can help you out on your spiritual journey? So, when you're on your spiritual journey, whether you are just starting off or whether you have been in it for a while, there are certain items that you can bring into your life just to help it be a little bit easier on you. As you probably have noticed, going through your spiritual path is not easy. It takes a toll on your body, on your mind, on your friendships. It can have a crazy effect on all areas of your life. And today I hope to bring to you some items that have helped me on my spiritual journey in hopes that they can help you on yours. And who knows, maybe you already have some of these things laying around, and this is going to be your sign to start using them. So I'm going to go with the very first one that's very obvious, and you probably know exactly which one that I'm going to say, especially judging from my background here. And that is going to be a divination tool. Divination tools are tools that you use to communicate with, your higher self, your spirit guides, your past loved ones, your angels, all of them. It can help you really be in connection with your intuition as well. The issue that a lot of people have when they're starting off on their spiritual journey is that it can be difficult for them to trust themselves, or it can be very difficult for them to really be in touch with their body because of past experiences or their relationship with their body. So sometimes even people who are empaths are very clairsentient, which is clear feeling, have a harder time connecting with their body and feeling impressions and things like that, and being an accurate divination tool themselves, they have to use an external divination tool. So yes, you can be your own divination tool. Did you know that you can actually create, feelings within inside of yourself that can actually help you be your own divination tool? So for example, if I ask my body to show me a yes, I lean forward. I can ask my body to show me a no, I lean backwards. And so there you go. I created like a human pendulum, if you will, and I am now my own divination tool. But like I said, that can be difficult sometimes. Okay. We can't always figure it out. And sometimes we're inside of our own head. Did I just lean forward? Did I just lean backwards? Like, I don't know. Was that just me? Do you understand what I'm getting at here? So that's why I always recommend a deck of cards. Now, you can choose tarot cards, you can choose oracle cards. There is a little bit of a difference, but basically just go with which one is resonating with you. But these cards can validate what you are getting, what you're intuitively picking up. And then every time that you use your deck or any divination tool, you are then really strengthening that bond with yourself and with your higher power. So, other divination tools that you can use can be like runes, there's dowsing rods, there is like Skittles. Some people have used Skittles. I've taught classes on that. You also have your, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. I wanted to tell you about pendulums as well, but that is number two on our list, because not just any kind of divination tool, and you can Google some of them. There's crystal balls that you could use. I love my crystal ball. Tarot oracle cards are the biggest ones, and I really feel like card deck, everybody needs a card deck. But for the number two is going to be a divination tool, but is going to be a divination tool that will allow you to get clear yes and no answers. And that is what pendulums are really good for. So pendulums are really good at getting those yes and those clear no's, just as long as you are using it without a lot of emotion. Get your emotions out first, because you don't want to basically help it along and basically get the pendulum to tell you what you want to hear. So a pendulum is going to be perfect for yeses and nos. Another divination tool that you can use for clear yeses and nos is going to be the crystal ball pocket oracle. I know I've talked about that before, but that is going to be the divination tool to give you that yeses and nos, because oftentimes we just get so into our own heads that we don't realize, like, the answer is right there in front of us. So sometimes it's really good just to have a go-to that's going to give you your clear yeses and nos. If you don't want to get a separate divination tool, then you can always go through your card deck, that you have, and then pick out cards that will always be your yeses and always be your nos. So that spirit is like, okay, Roger that. We are going to give her this if it's a yes, and this card if it's for a no. So definitely assign several cards in your card deck as yeses and nos so that spirit will be like, okay, we got it, we got it. It's all about creating your own language with the spiritual world. All right, so that is number one and two. Extremely helpful, changed my life, and I know that it will yours as well. But this one is very unique, I believe. I don't think enough people talk about that. And that is going to be the third tool is going to be something that helps you with your nutrition, something that helps you with food. Because as you probably know, like majority of the world, definitely United States, I think it's like upwards of 80 to 90% of people are deficient in magnesium. Well, guess what, baby girl? I'm sorry I keep on saying these words. I think that there's a spirit that's coming in that's making me use these like little sweet girl names. Baby girl, that's really crazy too, because our mom used to call me that. So, and I just said baby girl. I never say that. So, if one of your past loved ones used to call you baby girl, they're definitely here and they want you to listen to this part. And so, what ends up happening though, if you are working with the spiritual realm, even on purpose or on accident, then it also takes up more of your magnesium. So, you're going to have to be a little bit more self conscious about your food, your nutrition, those kinds of things. And also around your spiritual journey, too, you might notice that it gets more difficult for you to eat certain foods. For me, it was very difficult for me to eat animal products, and then I could start eating them again. And then it was really difficult for me to eat this and that. And that's why I love the Food Healing Oracle deck. I will put a link in the show notes. But what's really great too is that not only do you see what kind of benefits that the card that the not the cards the actual food can have for you, but you can also see the meaning of the card, like the spiritual meaning that was channeled from the spiritual world to create this hard card deck. So that is a very very helpful, love it. You can actually get the mini deck and then you can just keep it in your purse if you want, or you can keep it in your kitchen and then just draw a card and be like, what does my body need right now? And here is another pretty good book. It is Eating in the Light. This is actually by Doreen Virtue and Becky Prelitz. I will be honest with you, I just reread this book and it's more of like just go vegan book. It doesn't necessarily mean though that you have to go vegan or vegetarian or anything like that, but blessing your food and knowing some little things like that can really help you out on your spiritual journey because your body is going through a lot. So it's going to change. So it's almost like going through puberty, through menopause, through adolescence, like all those things. And it's almost kind of like that. Your body's going to change. It's going to be able to handle certain things. It's going to be able to not handle certain things. And then you will benefit a lot knowing some of this, like knowing that you probably need to drink more water, that you need to eat more grounding foods. That is going to be super duper helpful. So you need to get some kind of tool that's going to help you with nutrition. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be a card deck or even a book. It could be working with a nutritionist, finally, okay, working with a coach, okay, going ahead and maybe even taking a little class on nutrition, paying attention more to your body, being more mindful of what you put in your body. Because what ends up happening is that people who have a light and are called light workers, these are people who are basically, if you're listening to this and you're probably a light worker, so that means that you were sent down here to spread the love, spread the light. And we are very sensitive and we start becoming more and more and more sensitive as we go down our spiritual path. And that means that you will not be able to handle dyes in foods, that you will probably be more sensitive to processed foods, and some foods that you might used to love, you might not be able to eat anymore. So that is a very, very good thing to have on your side. Now, the other thing, which is going to be our number four item that is very helpful, is a journal. And I am showing my journal right now on YouTube. It has my phoenix engraved into it. It has rise into your power, and then it says Heather Danielle, this was a gift to me. And it's really important to document your journey because you are going to feel so much better when you can go back and look over these. Now, this is funny. I'm looking at my journal right now. This is actually starting in when I took the Gabby Bernstein class and I flew out to New York to work with her. So this had to be 2019. And I have this little part bookmarked because I actually went through this really quick before I got on here because I wanted to show you the reasons why you need to keep a journal. And the very first thing that it says, I'm just skimming it, it says Christian. Oh my gosh, that was such a big deal for me because I was in class working with John Holland and Joe Shield, if you know them. I had flown to Florida to work with them. They are famous psychic mediums. And it was so funny. I was reading this girl and I was like, man, I'm trying to get their names and I can't. And she was like, oh, it's okay. You don't have to. But I really wanted to get names. So I said to her, I'm like, hey, how about this? I will have him download my name, well, his name, tonight. And then I'll let you know in the morning what his name is. And so when we came back to class the next day, and I was really disappointed, and I had to tell her, hey, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't get his name. And she's like, oh, that's all right. I was like, yeah, all night, all I kept on getting was Christopher Christian, Christopher Christian. I was like, and that's all I got. And she's like, oh my God, his name was Christopher, and he actually changed it to Christian. Is that not crazy? That's crazy for anybody that heard it. But I might have forgotten about that, maybe not that one, if I wouldn't have written it down. And so here's a couple other things that I want to share with you because in this journal, because I feel like it could help you out too, because so many of us have the self doubt and wonder if they're doing the right things. And I feel like reading literally what I wrote could actually help you. So here it goes. It says, not good enough, have to be good as, do I have enough training? And then it says, we got all twisted to get energy to the soul. The pain makes you look deeper. I don't get it. You're involved in something much bigger than you. It's not about you. Is there enough good ones? Think about the people who have passed in the last year. You have the opportunity to help others. A world of wonder. There's a greater power we're involved in. Spirit world is desperate to tell us to love. Mediumship is 100% about life. It's about becoming the real you. You can make it a spiritual experience to whomever meets you. And there's like tons and tons of things in here that just talk about like, oh, I got red card, I got those things. And I was still doing professional readings and everything at this point, but I was still growing and learning just like I am now. So you really want to have a journal, even if just to get out some of those emotions, but you're going to love looking back on them. Okay. I've saved a lot of my journals since about the year 1990. So if you think about it now, those journals are 33 years old. They're really cool. And it will help you out so much because when you feel like you haven't gone anywhere, you can look back on the journals and be like, oh my God, I did. Our memory doesn't always serve the best for us, if that makes sense. Okay, so now the next thing that I wanted to tell you that you need to get, is a meditation pillow. I use dog beds. That's what I do. So look in the dog bed section. I know it might not be what is the norm and what they say because with the dog beds, it actually goes in and then it comes out. So they really want the middle part to not go in. They really want the middle part to go out because then it kind of straightens up your spine a little bit. But I don't care what they want. I want to be comfortable. I used to meditate with monks. I'm not sure if you know that. And so I asked them, what's the best way to meditate? Because I would notice when I was at the monastery that they would all each meditate in different ways. They weren't all just crisscross applesauce. They were sitting sometimes in very strange ways. And also, they didn't sit up straight. Well, no, actually, I think they did sit up straight. So I asked one of them, I was like, hey, how do I sit when I meditate? And they told me, do what's ever comfortable for you. And then I was like, what if I slouch? And they're like, if slouching is comfortable for you, then do that. They're like, it's not comfortable for me to slouch. Now they said that in a much longer way, and they were Vietnamese monks, and so they didn't speak very good English. So it probably seemed way cooler coming from him than it is me right now. So look at the dog bed situation at your local Walmart, Meijer, Kohl's, whatever, and see if you like any of those. If you don't like any of the meditation pillows, then do something to where you have a calm space to go to if you want to meditate or to relax. You need a place to regroup. And so having something in there, whether it's a favorite pillow, a stuffed animal, things like that, is really going to help you, even if it's in your bed. But do something to where it makes it, this is my meditation time. So whether it's going to be like a yoga mat on there, where it's going to be just like a nice blanket that you put on it, this is going to be your meditation blanket. It's going to be something that shows your mind, you, that this is now meditation time. And I love my little dog bed, and I think it's so adorable, and I got it on clearance. And then I have another section of my meditation area that has more fun pillows. And I probably have, I don't even know, 7 or 8 pillows on this very, very, very small meditation thing. I take all of my inability to take pillows to other areas of my house, and I just take it out onto this meditation pillow. Every time that I put pillows, every time that I put pillows on my bedroom bed, my husband takes them off and he puts them in the spare bedroom. You guys, are you guys about to kill him? Because I'm about to kill him. I want those pillows on this bed. That's why I put them there. But I don't know where that stands right now. So now I'm just, like I said, taking all of my pillows and I'm taking my desire to have cool pillows and I'm putting it in the corner of my office where my meditation area is. So maybe this is your sign that you need to get some more pillows. Okay. All right, the next thing is going to be some way to cleanse your space and cleanse yourself. And this is going to be a lot about the environment that you're in. So this is going to be where you spend the most time at. So you can use sage, you can use Palo Santo, you can use a lot of different things to be able to cleanse your space. Honestly, you could even use like singing bowls that can kind of help, essential oils, incense that can help as well. But I love sage spray. Now, this has been amazing because sage spray, you can spray it in the office, okay? You can spray this in meetings. You can spray this in your car. So if you have to drive people around or whatever, maybe you're an Uber driver, they get out, you spray like, bad energy be gone. And that is really what I love. So this is something that's going to help you keep your aura clean and then also keep your environment clean. And it doesn't smell like that bad. It does smell a little bit different than the original sage spray. Like my opinion is that sage in the stick, which is actually right behind me, I have some. It smells a little bit like weed. This does not smell that way. So this might be something great for you in your spiritual journey. Okay, so next one is going to be what we talked about a couple weeks ago, crystals. You're gonna need some crystals. So this is the one that I actually sleep with beside my bed usually a lot of the times, and this is going to be an amethyst. Amethyst is going to help you settle down, relax, relieve anxiety. I also have like a small hematite that I'll carry around, and hematite's going to help you be grounded. Carrying around these crystals and things like that are really going to help you. I know that it seems woohoo. I know that it seems kind of out there. I felt the exact same way too. But the thing is, it's not very woohoo because these crystals, especially in their raw form, do give off energy. Now, this is something that's scientifically proven. And these rocks that we're talking about, these crystals actually come from the earth. Why in the world is it so weird to utilize things that's of this planet, that's of this world? I don't get it. Why is that woohoo? It's a rock from the earth, and we're saying that different rocks expel different kinds of energy. It's no secret that trees, that bushes, that flowers, all plants, all living things have auras. Auras are an energy field. Even our food has an aura. In fact, it's really interesting too because they took like a carrot and then they took a picture of its aura and then they cooked the carrot and then the carrot's aura like diminished a little bit, and you can definitely see a difference between the carrot auras. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. It's probably better and healthier to eat the carrot in its raw form, but my God, raw carrots are freaking hard to eat. So this is all scientifically proven. And so why wouldn't it be like, oh, I want a crystal that will exude good energy for me to help me out, to help me sleep, to help me focus, to help me ground, to help me do a whole bunch of other things. It's not woohoo. I think the other people are woohoo. I think them and their chemical inducing pills or whatever, I think that's woohoo, man. Like that's out there. Like you want me to put what in my body? Like what? No, I'll stick with the crystals. Thank you. All right, so definitely crystals. Now here's another one. We are actually on number 8 right now. So number 8 is going to be a reference books. So these are going to be books that you loved in your spiritual journey and then you can actually look back on. So right now I'm actually showing two books. I am actually showing my book, which is Anxiety to Angels. And this is like a step-by-step guide to transform your stress into spiritual connection. Still really good things in here. These are the exact same steps that I took to go from ridden from anxiety, like to talking with the angels, because that's what happened to me. I realized I didn't have anxiety. I was actually psychic. I wasn't sick. I was psychic. I was an empath. And so this is a great step by step one. It gives you all of the information on how to shield and blah, blah, blah. So if you already have it, that's good. Keep it as a reference point so you can go back and look into it. Now, another really good reference book is going to be Heal Your Body by Louise Hay. This is a great one because anytime that you are having issues within your body, you come here and see what the meaning of it is. I actually did a whole podcast episode going over a lot of the common ones. I'll try and link it below. But, like, for example, elbow came up. What? It's so funny because I have elbow problems. Elbows says represents changing directions and accepting new experiences. And then it gives an affirmation. Like, I easily flow with new experiences, new directions, and new changes. So anytime that you have a new physical ailment come up, go ahead and look at here. Or if you have kids, then this is what I did with my son. I was like, let's look it up in here. And then we can find out like the mental, emotional, or spiritual reason behind your body and then try and help it out. So this is a great reference book, but it doesn't mean that you absolutely have to get these two books. It could be something else in your life that is monumental to you, like a book that you read. And maybe if you haven't read that book, you need to get one of these or find another one. One of the other reference books that I love that I keep all the time is going to be A Sermonist for Earth Angels, but that's actually by Doreen Virtue. Love that book. And maybe you're one of them too that wants to get like a dream interpretation book too. That would be a great reference book. All those are really, really great to have. So don't be so quick to get rid of your books. Okay, so here's a weird one. Okay, it's not weird. It's not weird, but it might seem weird to you. Are you ready? It is moon water. Ah, did you know I was going to say that? Moon water. So, what moon water is that you have a bottle, you put some water in it, and then you put it underneath the moon. And what's really great about this is that it changes the energy in the water. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but they've actually proven it to be true several times in many, many different studies that if you talk smack to water, it can actually change the molecules. It can look different. Same thing with plants. Have you ever heard about talking to plants? Like you talk good words to a plant, you talk bad words to the plant. Like the plant that has like bad words being said to it, that it doesn't grow as pretty. It has like delays, but the one that was sung to and given all sorts of good, energy and vibes, that one just flourished. Okay, so it's the same thing with us. We need to be putting good things into our bodies, but guess what? Life is busy, right? Life is busy, 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 busy. Everybody thinks that their spiritual self and the regular self is separated. It's not. So we have to try and make the most out of blending the two worlds. And that's where moon water comes in. So you can go ahead and put it underneath the full moon or a new moon. I prefer the new moon, but a lot of people out there only do the full moon. So you can put it underneath there, put it in a bottle. This is actually the Blue Bottle Love Live Green Drink Blue. And this is actually made for this, but you can use whatever you want and whatever kind of bottle, but it has to be like clear so that you want the moon rays, if you will, to get into the bottle. And then this is genius. You take this water and then you use it to like make your coffee or your tea in the morning or whatever that you are creating. So people actually pour this into like their Keurig and they use this water instead of tap water until it runs out. And that is just a genius way of getting in more goodness into your body, more good energy into your body. So that one's definitely a yes for the moon water. Okay, this one is a little bit complicated because it is not an item. And this is our last item, but it isn't truly an item. Okay, so there are some things out there that we are going to need in our spiritual journey that are not items, like a community, a safe place to explore like your feelings and your abilities and things like that. But that's not really like an item per se. And this may fall underneath that, but I still feel like it's an item. And that is some sort of healing modality. So this means Reiki, pranic healing, healing hands. One of those is what you're really going to need because, like I said, your body is going to be going through a lot. And then you can learn to do it yourself, like get Reiki certified, get pranic healing certified, or you have to find someone that can do it for you, which there's a lot of different like healing groups, like free Reikis and things like that. So I just am going to show you the pranic healing book, which would be a great reference book as well. So the pranic healing is it's kind of like Reiki, but what it does is that it actually cleanses out the chakras. And so these are different like recipes, if you will, for different ailments that you are having. So if you're having headaches, gallstones, things like that, then you can come in here and you can see what the pranic healing protocol, aka recipe, says to do. So if you have gallstones, or maybe someone needs to get checked with gallstones, because that's kind of crazy that I said that, you need to get checked out. But you need to have some sort of way to have your energy cleansed. So obviously, you can do online information. You probably don't even have to get certified. Just do it to where you understand how it works so that you can do it for yourself and possibly even for your family. Because what's going to happen is you are going to become you're already more sensitive to energy. It's just going to get worse. But if you need to know how to cleanse that energy, now we can do things like standing underneath the water, when you're in the shower, pretending that it's golden light, cleansing your energy and things like that. But sometimes it only goes so far because sometimes we're holding on to things a little bit too tight. So it's almost like trying to wash your hand with permanent marker. It's like you're going to have to try scrubbing a little bit harder to get some of that stuff off. Okay. So it's going to be some sort of healing modality. You can go on Udemy, that will also show you some Reiki healing, that kind of thing. You don't need to be certified to be able to do this. You have the ability to do everything that you need in this entire life within yourself. No extra tools, including any of these items, are needed. They just make it a lot easier. And then it's like if people have invented and created these things that can make our life easier, then why don't we take them? It's almost like I don't need a car. I can walk to California if I want. Yeah, I could probably walk. It probably would kill me. It might take me a zillion years, a zillion, I don't even know, hours, days. It would take me forever, but I could do it, couldn't I? Yes, I could. And but these things are tools that will really help us, and items that are very beneficial and can just make us feel a little bit more grounded, secure, not as much like we're going out of our freaking mind. Might make our body feel a little bit better. And here's another thing too that's coming up for me is it can also help you like absorb the nutrients in your body a little bit better, because sometimes we can get vitamin deficient as well, working with spirit or just going down our spiritual journey, because we're exuding a lot more energy. And sometimes what happens is when we're going down our spiritual path, we end up creating a bigger light within ourselves. But that light attracts even more energy vampires, and then that can deplete us of our energy. So just think about that. And that's the reason why that some of these tools and these items over here can hopefully help you out a little bit. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I cannot wait to hear which one of these tools that you utilize that's helped you out the most, or which one is standing out to you the most, so that you can go ahead and grab them and start using them ASAP. Let me know in the comments below.